Today on Cooking with Felix, Jefferson versus Hamilton. Dun dun dun. Hamilton and Jefferson didn't just argue about America's future, they ate it differently. Hamilton's table was brisk and British leaning, beef, bread, potatoes, and a classic New England Indian pudding for dessert. Jefferson's worldlier, garden to garden table and French influence, thanks to his Paris-trained enslaved chef, James Hemings. Tonight, Indian pudding versus early American mac and cheese. So this is the first American cookbook. I got it from Colonial Williamsburg, and it's pretty cool. It has a bunch of like old-fashioned recipes. However, the words are kind of weird because, well, it's old. So for this, we're gonna use this for the Indian pudding recipe. But for the mac and cheese, we're gonna have to use an archived recipe from a website because it's not in this book. Now, Jefferson couldn't just go out and buy this stuff. However, records say that he bought a pasta press from Italy, and James Heming and his other chefs, who were skilled in Italian and French dishes, made mac and cheese. We already started a pot of water boiling, and now it's time to shred cheese. Okay, so we're gonna grate all of this, a bunch of cheese up with this rotary grater, and we're gonna have 2 cups each of Parm, Romano, and mozzarella. Yeah, this is the hard cheese. Yeah. Okay, so we got a bowl of cold milk. I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons, of AP flour, and then we're gonna put some salt and pepper in, and then mix it up, and it'll be ready for the noodles. So is that good? That looks pretty good. Okay, so the recipe clearly stated do not rinse. They probably want the starch in there, but yeah, we got our buttered baking tray, and we're gonna mix the butter into this and salt, and it's time to assemble. Okay, so we got most of the cheese. We're gonna add most of it to the bowl, not all of it. We're gonna use some of it as a topping, and then we're gonna put it in the casserole pan and put it in the oven for about 450 degrees for 15 minutes. It seems to be more liquid than we expected. We might just have to fix this up later, but let's have a taste now. Not that great. It has less cheese and taste. It's not that great. Modern day mac and cheese is definitely better. Hamilton was a lot more modest than Jefferson. He ate a lot more common things like meat, potatoes, and like cornbread and pudding. He harvested from his farm. He really liked black coffee, but he didn't drink it a lot. But later in life, he got stomach problems, so he wasn't really adventurous with exploring new flavors and stuff. He was also a military man, so he ate very basic things like military rations and stuff. So not like fancy, like expensive, fine food. There's a recipe for a nice Indian pudding Hamilton liked, and so let's do it. So the ingredients are pretty basic. We got ground ginger, molasses, salt, eggs, cornmeal, milk, and we're gonna scald 4 cups of milk first. Okay, so scalding milk is good, especially in baked goods. It helps activate enzymes. We want to bring it to almost boiling. We want to bring it to between 170 to 180 degrees. I'm speaking of molasses. Did you know that in Boston, 1919, a giant molasses silo exploded, and a huge wave of molasses weighing about like 2.3 tons washed over a city, killing 21 people. A sweet tidal wave of death. We're monitoring our milk. We still got a little bit higher to go. Sorry, my hand is shaking. I don't know why. It's time to add the cornmeal, and we're gonna mix this up with our hot milk. Ignore Dad back there. He's performing instruction stuff. Just ignore him. So we're stirring it till it thickens, and when it does, we're gonna turn off the heat and put in the rest of our ingredients. Okay, so we've moved this from the heat. Now we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of butter. We have our molasses, which is already pre-measured, and then we're gonna add 2 teaspoons each of ginger and salt. Okay, so we got our butter melted. We got a butter pan here, and we got 2 eggs here, but we can't add them yet because we have to wait for the mixture to cool so they don't curdle. So the mixture is cooled. We're gonna add our eggs, and then we're gonna put it in the oven for about 2.5 hours or so, and at 300 degrees, and it should have a nice custard-like texture. It's gonna be good. Okay, so this is the corn pudding from Alexander Hamilton's dinner table. Let's see if it's good. Oh, that's hot. It's alright. I mean, the texture's kind of weird, but I mean, it's fine. It tastes like cornbread, but watered down into a mush. I mean, it's alright. I would choose Hamilton's pudding because while Jefferson's mac and cheese was fancy, there was way too much milk and stuff in it, and it had too little flavor.